Okay.
We live?
It says we are.
Okay, we're live. Let me put a little Nixie back. Oh, all right. We're going to give a few minutes for some people to show up. And in the meantime, where I set those? We're going to talk for just a second. Today is obviously another egg cutting clutch, right? That's what we're doing. I'll be honest, I'm a little nervous about this one. I'm a little nervous about this one. Here's why. This is the Axanthic Pastel we just featured on the video front, and our Pastel Het Axanthic. Pastel Het Axanthic came from John Dog. I proved it out to be Het Axanthic last year, 100%. We bought it as 100%, so I wasn't really worried about that one. Now, the Visual Pastel Axanthic we bought from Ben Siegel Reptiles, and honestly, they made an honest mistake and it ended up being a male, not a female. It's supposed to be a female. I contacted them. They were more than willing to make it right. So I got no problems with that. You know, that's normal. That happens. It sucks, but it's part of it every now and then. And it was absolutely nothing they did on purpose, and they were willing to jump through hoops to make it right if we needed to. We ended up being able to use them. We got them for a good price anyway, so I just called it good and we went on with our day. But when that's wrong, then you start wondering, is anything else wrong? I'm sure it's not. I hope it's not, because if it is, I'm going to find out on live camera, which would obviously really suck.
Someone likes your hat.
Yeah, the hat's
Someone likes my
getting
hat.
love it.
Yeah, we got a new hat, a little new K-State look there, you know. Some cool shit on there. Anyway, put that back on. That is not, just flip this hat. All right. And hey, before we do this, I want to let a lot of you guys know that follow us, and you've seen us cut several clutches now. The first few clutches are just starting to get available, and just so you know, almost everything's already sold on Patreon. I didn't know how that would go, so if you're not on Patreon, this is kind of my advertisement saying, hey, get over there, especially if you want to get one of our snakes, because a lot of the really neat stuff, including that awesome Champagne Inchi, all the Champagne stuff, the GHI, all that stuff sold to that VIP group. So that's a $5 a month to start getting involved in that, and you'll get first access to all of our snakes. So do check that out. All right.
What's the pairing before you go?
The Patreon, or the pairing? So what's the Patreon? The pairing is a Pastel Axanthic, that is SK line. This came from Ben Siegel, to a Pastel Het Axanthic, that is SK line, that came from John Dog. So let's get started. I'll feel a lot better when I see some silver. None of these have pipped yet. We're going to be gone for Father's Day, and they're due. So I wanted to go ahead and do them, just because I don't want them to happen when we're gone.
So what are possible outcomes with this clutch that you're looking for?
Pastels, super pastels, and all that in Axanthic. That one is not Axanthic. That looks to be pretty normal to me. Okay, 0 for 1. Half the clutch, theoretically, should be Axanthic. 1 and 2. Yeah, I got the point where I want.
You're shaking.
I know, because I always have a little shake, and then
Too much caffeine.
when I'm nervous, I have a little more. Okay, this gets the first. Okay, doggies. That gets the first scare out the way. So that makes me feel better, because this proves out to be SK line all through. There you are. Holy shit balls, Batman. That is really nice. That might be actually what we're looking for. We'll know more when it crawls out. We can look at the blushing. We'll see if that's a super pastel or just a pastel Axanthic. All right. The reason I'm like, is because that proves out that everything is actually SK line. So Ben Siegel hooked us up, did us good, and gave us a really nice. They actually, I think what happened was when I bought it, I said, hey, I want the brightest example, because it was kind of there was a lot, and you picked, said I want one. And they did. The guy went and got me the brightest one. He even had it notated, brightest example, blah, blah, blah. But in doing that, I think the male-female part got crossed up. And I'm okay with that, because the quality that he is what I was looking for. And now that I see that, and I know the SK line is definitely right, I feel so much better. Plus, let's say it didn't prove out. We've had babies from him before that were Het Axanthic. And if we found out the line was wrong, even though it's not our fault the line was wrong, I would still be responsible for going back and contacting those people I sold to and saying, hey, this is what happened, this is how it happened, this is why it happened, and then we need to figure out how you want to proceed for us to fix this. Now I don't have to do that. So that feels really good. If I've been wrong, even though it wasn't my doing, I still have to be responsible to my customers, right? Okay, deep breath, chillax a little bit. If you got any good comments, Kurt, feel free to shout them out. So, oh my God, I'm so much happier now.
Brian Cusco's on.
What's up, Brian?
Were you shaking like this on your wedding night?
I don't know, was I? Something was shaking. Something was shaking. Look, there, another one. Okay, now this is getting good. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And that's what we're looking for. This also will further our projects and our goals to make black and white snakes. So some of these will get held back, you know, but not all of them.
You're not
Especially
gonna.
good odds.
You're not gonna keep them all.
I'm not going to keep them all, most likely. And anything that's not visual will be 100% het for Xanthic. So like this one here, because we used a visual in our pairing, come here, it's 100% het. And that one looks like it's going to be a pastel het Xanthic. So far we got a wild type, normal, classic, straight out of Africa. Somebody else came up with a really good name for these two I thought was awesome. OGs, I think they call them. You know, I'd call them OBs, you know, original balls. They're like the first balls. Anyway, we got one of those, and then we got two that are at least pastel Xanthic. I'll have to do more inspection for Emily to say super pastel Xanthic. Wouldn't
Lots
that
of
be
love
awesome?
coming in for the purple shirt.
I always wear a purple shirt. Always, always, always.
Well, I think they may be Patreon subscribers who received them.
Oh, good deal, because we did ship a bunch of those out. And some of you are still waiting. I had to do an additional shirt order. Oh my God, that's another one. Oh, look at that. Now I am really shaking.
Calm down.
I can't help myself. Kurt's like fucking Christmas. Oh, it's like Christmas. I dropped an F-bomb. This is why I'm not always family friendly. Oh, drop the scissors. I love Xanthic, okay? I do. So this clutch always makes me like a little bit more on end. Golly, that's good. That is good. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Now we're cooking with gas, guys. This is the kind of odds I've been looking for, you know, because the odds have been a little rough on us at times this year. Not bad, but you know, we haven't really killed it on anything. We've had a few extra of the classics. So it's nice to open up and see lots of color. Or actually, in this case, absence of color. That one is looking to be, quite possibly, I can't really see much other than the belly, but based on the color and what I'm seeing, it's going to be at least pastel, but it looks really bright in there, so that could be a super pastel het Xanthic. And again, all this will be SK line for anybody who's curious.
Snake keeper.
Snake Keeper line, yep. The Snake Keeper, I always just short it SK. People call it TSK, you know. It's all the same. I can't even see this one, Kurt, can you? Is it good?
Mm-mm.
You said, it's good.
Said, oh no, I can't see.
Oh, it's good. But it's not Xanthic. But definitely a pastel in there, so a pastel het Xanthic. Alright, we gonna go out on a bang? What do you guys think? Give me a few predictions. What are we gonna get on that last egg?
I say a snake.
Kurt says a snake.
Oh,
Question girl, what do you say?
I kind of second Kurt.
I say it's going to be a visual.
You have to also remember that I don't know possible outcomes. So what were the possible outcomes one more time?
Pastel,
Okay.
super pastel, normal, all het Xanthic. Xanthic, pastel Xanthic, super pastel Xanthic. That's what you can get
So
out of it.
super pastel Xanthic is the best possible outcome.
Yes.
And you already hit 2 of them?
Don't know until they're out. Not going to say they hit two of them.
Hypothetically, you possibly hit 2 of
We
them.
hit at least 2 pastel Xanthics, I'll say that.
Okay.
I'm going to have to really look at the blushing.
Well,
and then
I
stuff
would
into
say
the-
if you're going to go out with a bang, hopefully you get a super pastel het Xanthic female.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'd rather have a full Xanthic. I think we can get a visual Xanthic. But I don't think it's
Well,
going to
you
be super
just said
pastel.
that the other one was the better one when I just asked that.
No, super pastel. Het's not better than visual, babe. Come on now.
I'm still figuring this out.
This is just in an odd spot. You might be right though.
Have you ever cut a snake
Never
when you
happened.
were egg cutting?
Okay, that one is hard to see the pattern in, but that is either a pastel or a super. Good to go. And all you're looking for in here is just a little movement. Good to go. I take that back. I hit 3 of those. Good to go. I do want to show you something. If I was going to guess, okay, and again, we're kind of guessing. See how really light colored that is and how much that black line isn't quite as crisp as some of that black line? A little more faded and a little more blushing everywhere. I'm going to bet that this is our super pastel for sure. This one, I'm going to bet is just a pastel Xanthic, and that one's one I really can't tell yet. But I do think we did hit one super pastel Xanthic, may it be female. Anyway, I know I'm a day early on these. I'll be honest, 2 things were factoring into it. I knew I was going to get up tomorrow and drive to Kansas City for Father's Day, right? Which is cool. I'm happy to do that. Question Girl says I have to, and I'm happy to do it. I am happy to do it. And I don't want to spend all day Saturday. We're going to be staying the night there into Sunday just going, did my snakes pip? Did my snakes pip? Did my snakes pip? Did my snakes pip? I wonder if my snakes pipped. God, I bet they pipped and I'm missing it. Holy crap, is it actually Xanthic? So I decided to lower my anxiety level to just go ahead and make sure and do this tonight. Because they were due. Like they were due. This would be the normal day they would normally open up for me anyway, based on this year's incubation times. So, do we have any questions on the channel there, Kurt?
No, people just say you seem excited and happy Father's Day.
God, I am. And here's the thing before we get into that. You got any questions?
I asked him while you were cutting.
Okay, so you're good to go?
Yeah.
I didn't put my scissors in there, did I? Right
No,
there.
you
Okay.
set them on top and then you...
Beautiful. As long as they're somewhere, don't even care.
them.
They're not in there.
They're
Very
not
good.
in there.
If you want to go throw that back in the incubator, it'd be awesome. Yeah, I am excited. And
I
here's-
moved them. They're right here.
here's the deal.
I probably shouldn't have
It's
done
fine. Oh, they're all right. Here's the deal. The day that you watch this, or you watch these, and I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that all clutches are created equal. They're not. And if Brian's still on here, I'm sure when he did his first clutch and proved out the sunsets he has and proved out his possible hets were in fact hets and he hit those sunsets. I bet that clutch had him extremely anxious going into it, and then all kinds of overjoyed when he hit it. And that's way different than doing a clutch of like bumblebees. And I love hatching bumblebees, so I'm not trying to knock that at all. I love hatching, they excite me, they're pretty. But the things that are your favorites and you're the most passionate about and have a little bit of longer odds, they definitely get you a little more excited. And the things that play into my long-term projects, for me, my killer bees, and we hit 3 of those this year too, they are, I hatch them because I like them, but they're the end of that project. Like there's nothing that I'm looking for out of that clutch to hold back and further what I'm trying to do. Where on this clutch I am. So it's seeing that I'm a step closer and it's to my ultimate goal. And all of that, it really does drive that excitement. And when the day comes that you watch me go through a whole season and I cut eggs, just like, cut some damn eggs, and I don't get excited, that would probably be the time to do several things. 1, if you see me lose all my excitement, you should probably stop watching me. 2, you should probably not purchase from me if I lose all my excitement. And 3, I should probably find something else to do. But that's not going to happen. I literally love this, and that is why I love it right there. All right, before we get off of here and switch over to Patreon, Kurt, any more questions? Anything else we need to address?
Yeah, this when will be the update on these at the hatch?
Typically we do clutch update videos after they come out of the egg, after they shed, and after they eat a meal. And then we'll kind of do a clutch update video. Just so you guys know how this works who are on YouTube, I don't know how many people are watching this right now, versus our Patreon
100
subscribers. Once we do that clutch update video, we then release a video on Patreon. We release a video on Patreon every time we do a video. And that one on Patreon then will actually have a price list with those animals, and those folks can start buying them then. And that's how all of our snakes got bought up. What doesn't get purchased through Patreon, then when it's ready, will go to shows and be open to the general public. But that VIP club, I know a lot of people don't like that. They think it's, kind of a grab. But if you look at the expansion that we've had in recent times, some of the things that we're doing, that's what drives the ship for us to do that. So it's not like Kurt and I are putting money in our pocket and, you know, I mean, well, no, Kurt bought a new truck. Jeez, Kurt. But not brand new. He bought a used truck, and he needed one. So I had to give him some crap. But we're not taking that money to do those things with. It's not paying my mortgage. But it did pay for our reptile room update. It did pay for our Scaleless Head project. It is paying for the Dwarf King and Sobek's new caging we're going to build. So it covers those things like that. So that's why we definitely love those folks and what they do for us. Anything else, Kurt?
What's your favorite Powerhouse morph?
Well, you know, I mean, my favorite Powerhouse morph that I currently have is this guy right here, and I hope he just got some new girlfriends. Never bred him yet. He wasn't quite big enough this year. Maybe he would have been if I'd have just pushed him. He might have got it done, but I wanted to go ahead and give him a little bit more time to just get some good feeding in and get to size. And that is this. And this is a spider Exantic. So you can really see the difference when they're together, you know, in the coloration. How that just brightens and cleans up. Of course, I want to put another layer of pastel in here. That is my long-term game plan, along with a layer of fire and possibly a layer of yellow belly to start making some firefly Exanthics, some fire pastel spider Exanthics, some super pastel fire spider Exanthics. Again, going for that super clean black and white look. And then if the yellow belly hits, we'll just clean it up because we do have some of those that are over here that we held back last year, like this pastel yellow belly head Exanthic there that we kept, and this fire yellow belly head Exanthic. So those are two girlfriends for that male I just showed you, along with the two pastel Exanthics we kept from a year ago. Come on, stay there, guys. Let me find one of them if I can.
What's the Jeans and Zeus again?
Zeus is a, jeez, this one wants to eat. Zeus is a spider pastel SK Exanthic. Okay, this is what happens when Matt gets too many snakes out, Kurt. Can you keep those two up there while I deal with this one? You gonna strike at me upside down? Yeah, there you go. You're not feeding. Had to let her know she wasn't feeding. And of course, this is a pastel Exanthic. So these will all be girlfriends for Zeus, you know, and then we'll probably mix in some other things as well. So that's where we're kind of working towards that. So anyway, hopefully that kind of helps everybody figure out what it is that we're doing over here.
How's the zoo coming along?
Slow. You know what? Construction, man. Doing construction. We're not doing it. We have a contractor doing it. It takes time. You know, we all wish it was done a while ago, but sometimes it's not reality. It's going to get done. I mean, the guy's working on it. He's there today working on it. He's working as hard as he can given the situations. And, I mean, that's all we're waiting on. And then we'll get that thing open on a soft opening. Then we'll do the grand opening and get it rolling. So, all right, guys, any more questions before we get out of here?
No.
All right, thanks for watching. We're going to switch over to Patreon now.